Burden of Dreams is often referred to as the world's hardest boulder problem. Is it also the world's most popular V17? We'll talk about that and a bunch of other climbing news, including Shawn Raboutou's second ascent of Devilution V16 or 8C+. Welcome to August Climbing. My name is August. We have a lot to talk about today, especially in the bouldering world. So let's kick things off with the Burden of Dreams V17 or 9A boulder. In last week's video, we celebrated Elias Iagnemma's send of Burden of Dreams, and he of course became the fourth person to send this boulder, and with some really unique beta. We now know for certain the beta that he used because he has shared his uncut send footage on Instagram. We get this angle here from the opposite side of the boulder as compared to previous ascenders, and it makes sense because this really shows off the key components of the beta he's using. According to planetmountain.com, he had come to this final move 4 other times, but this time everything came together in just the right way for him to get the send. It appears from the video that he was the only one out there at the time, or else whoever was out there was being very quiet. Now, in the intro, I asked the question, is this the world's most popular V17? Well, as it currently stands, Elfane, another V17 boulder, with currently 5 ascents, has 1 more ascent than Burden of Dreams. And we could approach this question of popularity from multiple angles, such as how often is Burden of Dreams showing up in your social media feed, how well is it known by the climbing community at large, and how many elite climbers are projecting it. It's not particularly consequential to answer this question of popularity. It's even a bit ridiculous to think of a piece of rock as popular. Anyone remember pet rocks? But I am quite intrigued about how much attention it's getting, and I think several of you have noted that in the comments as well. So on that note, here are a few other climbers to keep an eye on in regards to projecting Burden of Dreams. First, Toru Nakajima is currently in Finland to project Burden. He's no stranger to this boulder, and on March 30th, he shares on Instagram, Burden of Dreams session 1920. I came back to here again. I spent the first 1 week to practice each move, trying new beta and having a relaxing atmosphere. I'm feeling not so bad, but still this problem is really difficult for me. I'm sure this problem is right on the edge of my limit because I haven't made any significant progress compared to a year ago. In the 5 years that I have faced this challenge, I have come to understand what I can do and what I cannot do at present and future. For the rest of the week, I will do my best to tackle this problem and to measure once again what I can do. See you soon. It's certainly amazing to see Toru's perseverance on this boulder, and hopefully he can get the send. We've also seen a renewed focus from climber Ryohei Kameyama. He had previously visited Burden, but recently resumed posting about his training on a Burden of Dreams replica. In a post from March 31st, he sticks the last few moves of the boulder problem. In the comments section, Ryohei is asked if he will be going with Kokoro Fujii, i.e. going to Finland, and he replies, yes, we will try at the same time. And that brings us to our third climber, Kokoro Fujii, who has also been posting about his sessions on a Burden of Dreams replica, and he has an exciting update from March 31st saying, Burden of Dreams Session 3, last session before going to Finland. In the end, I couldn't make the first move. It's still imperfect, but I'm just doing the best I can. So yes, Burden of Dreams appears to be a very admired, or you could even say popular project for 2024. I hope we'll see Shawn Raboutou return to this V17 as well. And hey, speaking of Shawn Raboutou, in typical fashion, this was completely unannounced. Shawn Raboutou had shared no prior information about this send, and then on April 3rd, he posted, got the call from boss, stoked to join the team at Black Diamond. Check out the Devilution vid on @mellowclimbing. Sure enough, at the same time as this post, a video went live on the Mellow Climbing channel showing Shawn's second ascent of Devilution V16 or 8C+. Now you may recall in a recent episode we talked about Sean Bailey's first ascent of this boulder. This problem is located in the Buttermilks in California on the iconic Grandpa Peabody boulder, which has been seeing a lot of action lately. It involves a lower start to an existing highball boulder problem called Devilution V12 or 8A+, which was first ascended by Jason Kell. Mellow Climbing made a killer video of Shawn's send on Devilution, so definitely go check that out. In other bouldering news, renowned lead climber Seb Bouin shared on Instagram, "Changing from lead to bouldering is not something easy. Yet I wanted to challenge myself with Big Island Sit Start. This boulder is a big inspiration to me." Seb appears to be jumping into the bouldering deep end with this V17 project, though he did post about this on April 1st, so I'll let you be the judge of how serious he is about this project. Next up, we have Alex Khazanov, who recently had an impressive send amidst his projecting of Alphane V17 or 9A. On March 20th, he shared, "From dirt grows the flowers, 8C or V15. Trying Alphane V17 over and over became a mental challenge. Trying and climbing from dirt was a good reminder of how amazing and diverse our sport is. I can relax my mind and just climb a good personal challenge." Alex gives a shout out to legendary climber Dave Graham, who made the first ascent of this V15 boulder in 2005. He also notes that he'll be back soon to continue projecting Alphane. We've got another V15 or 8C send to talk about. This one comes from David Fitzgerald on a problem called Equanimity, located in the Kirkwood region of Lake Tahoe in the US. On March 25th, David spoke about this climb, saying, "It has everything you'd ever want in a line. The color, the shape, the texture, the symmetry, the height, the landing. Only discouragement is that it looks impossible. Having spent the last 5 years climbing around the Sierras, this ascent feels like a collection of all the lessons I've learned. It's just off vertical, and the feet you heavily rely on are close to non-existent as it gets. A style that rewards experience over anything else. This time I was lucky to have Jimmy Webb on board for the process, eventually sharing our ascents only a week apart last October." And this isn't the first time that we've talked about David Fitzgerald on this channel. Earlier this year, he sent another V15 boulder called Lucid Dreaming. This next one is such an aesthetically beautiful climb. This is a V12 called Fractal, and the climber is Isamu Kawabata. The shape of this boulder makes me think of an ice cube or a loaf of bread, and what a stunning view with it adjacent to the water. I really like the movement on this one, and Isamu's high-heeled top out at the end. Magnificent. Another climb that left an impression on me is this no-hand slab first ascent by Nathan Phillips. Check this one out that Nathan shared on March 22nd. Unrepeatable 7B/V8 ? First ascent. Somehow managed to flash first ascent this amazing river slab a few days ago. This made me think it couldn't be that hard, so I spent an hour trying to repeat it and failed to do so. No idea what that means for the grade. Could be anywhere from 7A to 7C. Regardless, it's really amazing. No handholds at all until you reach the lip. Just full trust in the feet and hope you don't slip. So for all you slab lovers out there, this could be your project for 2024. And while we're on the topic of bouldering flashes, check out this spectacular V14 or 8B+ flash from Kokoro Fujii. Yes, the same climber who we spoke about earlier, who's projecting Burden of Dreams. This flash was on a boulder problem called Utsushiyo. Kokoro shared on March 15th. I was able to climb Utsushiyo, which I had been aiming for ever since I decided to go to Enna. I lost sight of the holds at first and shouted too much at the end, but I managed to stay focused and climb. You can see that he initially missed the placement of his right hand on the second move, but he managed to keep his composure, make the adjustment, and continue on for the full send. As it currently stands, V14 is the hardest bouldering grade to have been flashed, with only around a dozen climbers having flashed this grade. Next, post-USA trip, Will Bosi is back to bouldering, and he brings us a V12 or 8A+ flash. This was shared on April 1st, but it does not appear to be an April Fool's post. An apple a day 8A+/V12 flash. Great day out at Bryn yesterday, checking out new lines and some amazing established ones like this one from Rise Langlands. It's pretty cool that Will Bosi is also checking out some new lines, perhaps some potential first ascents. Now let's change things up with something a little different. I'm sure you've heard of a beta break, but I'm not sure if you're ready for this boulder break. This post comes from Sharma Climbing on March 24th. Watch at Joe Kinder on this incredible boulder in Hueco tanks. You can't imagine what happens at the end. AKA V11/12 by Joe Kinder. Yikes, I was not expecting that at the end. I'm glad he came out of it okay, and I'd say he deserves the send on that one. Here's something else that you don't see every day. This comes from Southern Norway's biggest climbing gym. They write, 3 new problems at the pyramid in the main room. Maybe you can convince your route setters to set something like this at your gym, and maybe they want to put a little padding on top of the pyramid. That would probably make it a little bit safer. But hey, I would definitely enjoy trying this out. This next one from Allison Vest is wildly impressive. 230 pounds pulled with one hand by crimping on a 20mm edge. On March 26th, Allison wrote, been wanting to pull 230 pounds, 5 plates plus loading pin for a while. Stoked to make it go yesterday. These are also referred to as farmer's crimps, and yeah, I just can't even imagine being able to pull that much weight. We've spent a considerable amount of time on bouldering news today, but for the last section of this episode, let's talk about some longer climbs. First, we've got a staggering solo traverse from Shawn Villanueva O'Driscoll in Chilean Patagonia. In February, he connected all 4 summits of the Pain Towers in a push. No one had ever done this before, solo or with a partner. Shawn named this traverse Traversia Double M, grading at 511 A2, 2,200 meters. As reported in a March 22nd article, Shawn spoke to climbing.com saying, it kind of came to me in a dream, as I was recovering from a broken elbow in December. I had let go of the idea, but then just as I was about to move on to Sørlandet, I saw a weather window in the forecast and I decided to stay. And it's a good thing he decided to stay, because what an incredible traverse linking all 4 of these peaks. Now I've got one for all you trad climbers who are watching. Sebastian Berth has completed the 3rd ascent of Bon Voyage, graded 514D or 9A, trad E12. This route was first ascended by James Pearson in February 2023. Then Bon Voyage recently saw its first repeat by Adam Andra, who spoke very highly of the route and confirmed its E12 and 9A grade. As for the 3rd ascent, Sebastian shared a post on Instagram on March 26th saying, incredibly happy and proud to have climbed Bon Voyage. I first tried Bon Voyage in April 2023 for half an hour after my flash ascent of Le Voyage, and I immediately fell in love with the route and decided it would be one of my main goals for 2024. The notion that on this wall a route could be free climbed on gear is akin to a magic trick. A big congratulations to the magician James for having the vision and perseverance to see through his Bon Voyage till the end. I spent more or less 8 sessions in total on the route, and this was definitely an ups and downs process. I truly enjoyed it and had to try really hard to make it happen. This next one is from the legendary Chris Sharma. It's not a send, but rather an inspiring and long-standing project of his. The route is Perfectamundo in Spain, graded 515C or 9B+. The first ascent of this route came from Alex Migos in 2018. Then Stefano Gazzolfi repeated the climb also in 2018, and Jakob Schubert repeated it the following year in 2019. Sharma recently shared about his efforts in a post from March 29th saying, Perfectamundo 9B+, day number... question? It's been over 15 years since I started trying, so I lost count a long time ago. Constantly working to refine and optimize my movements, so many small details to ingrain. Consistency is key, but it's also super interesting to feel how the days off are equally important for assimilating the muscle memory. Most of all, keeping joy at the center of the process. All the best to Sharma on this project. Hopefully after quite some time, we'll get to report on another Perfectamundo send this year. Also keep in mind that send footage is now live for Will Bosey's Return of the Sleepwalker, V17 or 9A, Pablo Zamora's V16 or 8C Plus first ascent of Muerte por Asphyxia, and of course, Elias Iagnemma's send of Burden of Dreams, like we spoke about earlier. I'll link to all of these in the description. I hope you enjoyed this episode packed full of climbing news. My name is August. Thank you so much for watching.